What is going on, everybody? My name is Ock. What's up to YouTube chat? What's up to Discord? Welcome to Strats Weekly for the week of 25 January, the last Strats Weekly of January 2021. How's everybody doing? Radom, how you doing? I'm good. So did you actually? We were having a conversation previously, so I'm following up. For those curious watching the VOD, did you end up re-encoding, or did you put it on your list, or did you decide you're just going to leave it with the black bars? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh. Oof. That. Amazing. Absolutely outstanding. What's up, Taco? Real quick for everybody who is out there in YouTube land or who watches the VOD on this is the Strats Weekly, where we talk about games and stuff going on in the community, tech, whatever else anybody on Discord wants to chat about for about an hour, thereabouts. That's what's going on. Taco, how are things? Nice. I see you've renamed yourself completely. You know you can do that on a by server basis, right? Or do you just want to be Diplo the Taco everywhere? Oh, okay. I just assumed you would do that in the what you call it server, alliance server, whatever that thing is. I know. I just noticed that you were like Tifo's Diplo the Taco, which is what I would expect you to be in the coordination server, not in ours, but you do you. Oh yeah, yeah. Coming from anybody in this server, those guys are weird. Yeah, right. None of us have any room to talk. Playing a game hardcore. Were you not? Were you here, Taco, when we were playing? Were you here when we were playing Albion? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Albion's the most intense I've ever seen this community be. Holy crap, dude! It was, yeah. It was we played a couple of the beta, the pre-beta alpha things, like the yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think it was Alpha 2 that they ran for like 30 days in July. Holy cow, I played way too much Albion that month because I was not working because I like at that point I was still at the teaching at the private school. So I was like and taking classes and I wasn't doing anything that summer. So I just played nonstop Albion for a month. That was good times. Oh man, the bridge trolls. Yeah, it was might even been 15. Might have even been 2015.
And Braden was in his own. He was in some other. You were in some other guild.
Oh yeah, that was because we had the
You invited me too. I was in it for a little bit.
That's when we had like the softcore and the hardcore guilds.
that was even after that because we had the one guild during the alpha. Then the first beta, we kind of split it into the softcore and hardcore guild. But then we kind of like left leadership of the hardcore guild to some newly joined people who just went insane.
Yeah.
And like the guild imploded. And then it was the beta after that where because the guild imploded, I started playing with a different group of people. And then we had like there was the last beta that I really played in, and we kind of merged with another guild, so we had like that guild, and then the Strats Co guild was more like it was still kind of hardcore versus Scare Bear, but we still had two different guilds.
Yeah. Well, also, I remember for that second, like for the first one, it wasn't a big deal for everybody being in the same guild, but for that second one, we had a lot of people between like the Care Bears and the hardcores. Because we recruited real hard. We had a huge guild.
We really did. That we just had some bad luck with leadership, and even the other guild that we kind of merged with for the following beta. I don't know what it was, but when I played with him previously, like he was completely normal, and then just the next time we played together, he was just a really weird dude that was really intense about things and didn't care about. Like he was just one of those people that's like, I'm always right, and I'm gonna keep denying it, no matter how much you prove me wrong. It's my way or screw everybody. I was like, oh, okay.
And see, like, what I don't understand the benefit there, right? Like, I mean, I understand. Like, I'm definitely known for not liking to be wrong. Like, I don't like when I'm wrong, and sometimes somebody has to really sit me down and be like, "Yo, like, you're wrong. Like, it's okay, but you're wrong." And I'm trying to like internalize that a little bit better and be more okay with being wrong when I'm like very assured that I'm right, like for whatever reason, for whatever due diligence I think I've done on a topic. But like, if you just straight cannot admit when you're wrong, then it's just like, bruh.
I knew it was a problem, and it wasn't even like I was already getting annoyed, and then just one night we were talking, and he was like, it wasn't even Albion related. He's like, I think I had just gotten my like Acer Predator monitor or something like that. I'm like, oh yeah, this game is like great, like it's just so nice and smooth at 100 hertz. He's like, oh yeah, I have like a 240 hertz TV. And I was like, listen, dude. listen, dude. I'm like, do you have like a super expensive, like insanely expensive TV? He's like, no, it wasn't that expensive. I was like, okay, well, listen, man, you're not actually playing at 240 FPS. I'm like, it just takes a 60 hertz signal and interpolates a bunch of frames. And he's like, no, man, it's 240 hertz. And I was like, you're right, the panel is, but you're not actually like, it's not actually taking a 240 hertz signal. He's like, yeah, it is. I was like, he links me to it. I'm like, I promise you it's not. He's like, yeah, it is. I'm like, okay, now go to your computer. I'm like, right click on the background, and I take him through the thing. I'm like, when you look at your display adapter under monitor, refresh rate, what does it say? And he's like, 60 hertz. I'm like, exactly. And he's like, no, but it's still 240 hertz. I'm like, I don't know how to speak to you.
I mean,
I'm like, I don't know how to speak to you.
Like, yeah, the panel sure is displaying 240 hertz, but that's not a true 240 coming from your.
The panel is refreshing 240 times a second, or two. Yeah,
but it's only getting an actual new frame or new information every like 1/4. Every fourth iteration, it gets actually new information.
Yeah, which is crazy to think because even that video that you always post, he's talking about it. He's like, "Oh yeah, too many FPS, like they lead people to like motion sickness."
Oh
And I
my,
was like,
yeah,
you
no,
start to think about it, and if
that's
you're watching this,
bad interpolation leads to motion
yeah,
sickness, like for
I'm like,
sure.
if you think about it, if you're watching a 30 FPS rounding up, 30 FPS video,
At
and you have a
240,
240 hertz TV,
so
that is
7.
one in 8 frames. 1 in 8 frames is an actual frame, and then 7 frames are just fucking made up.
Yeah,
Like that's a ridiculous number. It's not like every other frame or something like that. It's 7 of 8.
yeah,
Like 85% of your frames are just invented.
yeah. I had a buddy when the 120 hertz TVs first came out. I had a buddy get one, and I remember going over there and like we were watching football or something, or some sports something. It was either
Oh,
football or
watching
baseball. Oh my goodness, dude! As soon as the camera started panning, I was like, "What?" He's like, "Dude, look how realistic it looks." I'm like, "No, this is the opposite. This is fake as
the
fuck."
ball is on the screen like 4 times. You're like, what is this?
Like this is not like, oh, it's like you're there. It's like being there. It's like no, that's not at all what this is like. This is actually just bad. Like
My TV, I think my TV is 120 hertz, and the very first thing I do with any of those TVs is immediately go and turn off the True Motion or whatever it's called. So like, and
mhm.
off immediately.
Oh
It's
my.
just the worst thing ever.
All right. Well, rather than reminisce about games we used to play, let's talk about games that are being
Yes.
played right now. Bam, bam, boom. All right. We still got people playing Shadowlands, World of Warcraft. Are they down there tonight? They playing tonight? No, they're not pushing keys
They're
tonight.
doing some stuff.
Yeah, they're not pushing tonight, I guess. Um, if you're interested in playing World of Warcraft with us, Nightlife is in charge of all that. You can hit him up down in the Blizzard's channel down here. Just ask for him. He's usually raiding Tuesdays, Thursdays. They normally push keys on Monday, but I guess for whatever reason they're not pushing keys tonight. But typically they push keys on Monday. So if that's something you're interested in, you're looking for a guild that runs later in the evening because they're a bunch of West Coasters. Come on over, check that out. Also, I know Nightlife streams a bunch of this stuff on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Stratsco. You can check out some of the content there if you're curious what that's all about. Hey, Doss was talking about re-upping WoW the other day. What else? Inquisitor Martyr. Again, for those who don't know, we do have a Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr guild. Cabal is what they're called. We're pretty much in maintenance mode. A bunch of us are anyhow. There's still a few people playing regularly, but most of us are in maintenance mode. I've achieved basically everything I want to do for the season. I'm still mulling over maybe throwing up another alt, but I don't think it's going to happen this season. So we're pretty much just pushing Cabal rank right now, so that quality of life at the start of season 3 will be really good. This current season has at least another 3-ish months on it. They haven't given us a hard timeline yet, but they started in December, and they typically run for about 4 to 5 months. But this is only season 2, and they're very fluid with it. 'Cause they're a bit more of an indie company, and they just had a new game come out from that studio. So manpower is a little bit redirected at the moment. But we've been assured by the main guys working on Inquisitor that they are indeed still working on it. The balance team is looking at stuff. There's some changes coming down the pipe for Mechanicus, I think. And they're also working on the new season mechanics. They haven't spoiled or teased at all yet. So, but if you're looking for a group, we got a bunch of people who know how to play. A lot of resources laying around as well if you need a little bit of a jump start. Can't really power level you. Sorry, Vicino. Vicino only plays ARPGs that you can be power leveled in, apparently. and then like gets power leveled and plays like once, and then goes back and plays whatever else he's playing. What else we got? Project Winter. Maybe when there's not a freaking football game this week, maybe we'll get enough people around to play. Football.
Yeah, I'm moving.
Yeah, football has been interrupting things, and also they've been doing Eve Ops if we don't have enough people, because most of the people that were playing with us, Project Winter, on Saturday evenings also play Eve. So hopefully we'll get enough people this week. If not, they'll be playing Eve. Speaking of, if you play Eve, we also have an Eve guild. Vecino, I know. Taco changed his name. It says T-Pose now. That's our ticker, because somehow that wasn't taken. So of course you're gonna take the meme ticker.
We're the core.
Hmm?
We're the best. If you want to play Eve, join now. Strats Co. Corporation.
Limited time offer.
We're super good. If you
Yeah, don't pay no attention
If
to the
you
bot
played-
talking about people getting nuked.
if you played something like Albion, that's easy mode compared to this shit.
Jeez.
Albion's for the Care Bears. This is for the real
men
nerds.
and women.
The real nerds.
The realest nerds who want the hardest of cores. Yeah.
No, we do a lot of everything, high sec, low sec, null, wormhole. We're doing a lot of wormhole stuff, exploration.
Is Sinish still lost in a wormhole?
Yeah, he still has an alt that is lost in a wormhole. You gotta wait until the hole. You gotta roll the hole. So what it is
I'm sorry, what?
rolling a wormhole is taking a ship just back in it, just in and out of the wormhole many times, so that it eventually disappears and a new wormhole opening opens.
So he's trying to get one that's opening up anywhere remotely
Yeah.
close to where you guys are at now, since it closed behind him.
Yeah, and it could take a really long time, but we're doing the wormhole, and we found a network, an alliance that operates a network of free ports, which are citadels, structures in wormhole space that are free for anybody to come and live in.
Oh, nice.
So we might start doing that. We do PvE. We do the economics market stuff. Crafting. It's called industry in Eve. We joined last night. We joined an alliance called Colony. Hopefully we can get some stuff going. Mining ops, PvP, small gang fleets going into low sec and null. Shooting some baddies, ruining people's fun. That's what the game's about.
Oh man, yeah, like that guy. How much was the value on those subscription buy up items that got nuked the other day?
$1,500.
Jesus,
Yeah, that's
freaking ridiculous.
it's not the most.
Oh no, it's not the most. But
Oh, my God.
it's just funny that like a random small ship had that much value in it.
Yeah.
It just like,
Well, there's like extremely rare blueprints that you can get that could be worth right now like $10,000, each.
Jeez.
pretty serious.
Yeah, I wanna get into Eve, but like I made an account.
Bradham's coming along.
I installed it.
We're
and then-
forcing him.
Every night, like I finish work and I sit there, I'm like, do I want to learn how to play Eve tonight? And the answer is always no. It's like I want to play Eve and know what I'm doing, but I don't want to do that little in between bit where I
You can be
what I'm doing.
you can be a healer. We'll have you be a logistics guy.
Can I just I just need a ship and be
Yeah.
like, yo, go mine that asteroid, and then I
We'll
sit
give you
there.
that.
And that's what I did in Albion, actually. I went and I would pull up a TV show on my one monitor, and I'd have Albion up on my other monitor, and I just go around and mine shit while I watch TV.
Oh yeah, you go in the blue zones.
I mean,
Yeah. No, man, I would do that. I do that in the red zones
Oh shit.
all the time,
Oh yeah.
and I'd have my audio on the game really loud so that I would hear as soon as anyone was coming, and then just run the fuck away.
Well, I mean, just link up with Light Force, because he's definitely learning from the School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, Light Force plays the least. but we are. I suggested the other night when we were in a wormhole. He was just taking his ship, and as we were killing stuff, and as Zarek was hacking sites, Light Force was just going around looting all the containers and the ships of the NPCs we were killing. But I suggested to him he should run a logistics ship, which is basically a healing ship, a healer.
Heals?
So yeah, it heals your
Does it
shield
cast divine
and
light?
yeah, it does. You can be a pope.
Braden will absolutely ram into you and say he's casting Lay on Hands. Guaranteed it's going to happen.
That does sound like something that I would do.
Yeah,
I mean, it's something I would do, and I just thought of it, and I know it's something that you would do if it's something that I would do.
And in the future, I'm gonna force off to make us propaganda, and
I see. There's
I like play support, so I mean the logistics sounds like
Can I,
do like to play
can I
support.
like build things? Can I gather resources and build things with said resources?
That's what
Yeah.
industry is.
Can I be industry?
yep, you can help me if you want.
whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want, man. There's people in the game that literally just sit in the main trade hub and scam people.
I mean, that's every MMO though, not just Eve.
Well, they do this thing like, oh, he sent me 2 million ISK, I'll double it, baby.
It's
That's
like
always
RuneScape
a winning
era.
strategy.
Dude,
They're not even like deviating from real life scams. It's like
No.
literally real life scams. It's like, hi, I'm a what is it? A prince from Zimbabwe or whatever.
No, it's always
They do
Nigeria.
the
Ugandan
popular
prince.
one. The popular one now is to put in your character's bio this math like problem where it's like, you know, it's a series of letters, and then what comes after this? If you're correct and you send me this amount of ISK, I'll double it, or triple it, or quadruple it. Whatever.
Who does this?
A lot of people.
Enough people for it to be profitable. That's the real
Yeah.
answer.
And if you don't want to do that, you know what you can do. You can I don't know. You can just gank people in high sec.
Hey, just do the auto
Senate-
lock on.
and then
Senish got popped the other night with like a good $30 worth of stuff, probably.
that's how you know a game is hardcore is when everything in the game is measured in real life dollars.
Well, I mean, it's easy to measure Eve in real life dollars because since you can trade the
Plex.
the Plex currency, which is like, you know, a 30-day playtime card basically, but an in-game asset. Since that exists in the game and there's a set value for it, then you can extrapolate the value of other things.
Well, each plex, one plex is about 2-ish million ISK. And ISK is the main currency.
Yeah, so then you get the equation that 2-ish
Five
million
hun-
ISK is $15.
Well, 500 plex is an omega sub worth. So then 500 would be the
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Basically, we're the best. Zarek knows.
Can you confirm, Zarek?
T-pose.
Assert
Take note as a yes,
dominance.
I can confirm.
All right. What other games? Other games. Bam. Also, Path of Exile for people who are looking for an ARPG fix that's not Warhammer 40k themed. We have a group playing in the current league of Path of Exile. I know Taco is playing off and on there. Cat Poop is really like the big one who's pushing like crazy in there. He always does. Like any league that Cat Poop plays PoE, he goes real hard.
I've been having a problem with PoE, actually.
Oh yeah?
I love it, but I'm having a lot of problems with... Trade League is, you know, the default league. It's just like... I don't treat the orbs and the currency as actual, like what they're used for. I treat it as how much wealth can I accumulate. So I may be permanently moving to solo self-found for every league now. I started up a SSF character.
Oh, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
I just like trade league is just.
I would never make it
I don't
without
know.
in solo self-found because I
Yeah,
always
you
want
gotta play the game.
No, I mean, the leagues that I've played in, I log hundreds of hours per league. I just like the items I need. There's just no getting those on your own. Like the one big item I ever self found was a +1 to all skills, 6 link chest, legendary. I forget what it's called. Skin of the Loyal, I think, is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found one with the exact colors that I needed for my build, and I bonked it with a Chaos Orb, and I got +1 to Aura skill, or +1 to support skill gems, which is like the god drop. I got that the league that came out. That was an incredibly stupid use of current. Like, I should not have risked that item. I could have sold that item for multiple X, but I instead like hit it with a Veil Orb. Actually got exactly what I was looking for because I was playing SRS support at the time, so it was literally the best in slot for me for my build, like a hybrid SRS support. It's like, oh cool, now I'm literally just doing exactly what I was doing, except I have a way better chess piece than I have ever had. I still haven't sold that thing on Standard League. That character is like, if there was anything I was going to throw away all my other characters, that would be the one character I keep, because like I made that. It's not even worth that much anymore in Standard. It's only worth like bonked as is. It's only worth like 4x maybe, because like double corrupt is a thing now. So you could end up double corrupting one of those instead of what I did, just hitting with a Veil. But
yeah,
special to me.
It's fun. It's just like, I don't know.
But yeah. So PoE is happening though.
Fun game.
We have a channel for it. If you're interested in that, getting in with our group, hit up Senior Cat Poop down in the PoE channel.
We have a bunch of tabulas too, so GG.
Oh yeah, if you got a new character coming up, yeah, yeah. There's a tabula with that. We won't even ask for it back. Just have at it.
I've got a couple myself.
In the last game we got to talk about, we got to hype the new clan that just started up last week, the Princess Connect Redive clan.
Oh my god, I couldn't get past
if you're
the opening fight. It was so.
Oh, it was a story, man. It's got story.
Oh my god,
the game's a story. It's
Is it
basically
a phone game?
Basically an anime.
Yeah,
it's a phone
mobile.
game. It's a waifu gacha.
You get blue stacks at the.
I have never heard of this game in my life.
It's like, I already spent enough money on my IRL wife. Now I gotta spend money on my waifus.
Yeah, it's an anime.
Actually,
VTuber game.
To be honest, more so than any other like mobile game I've played, this you really could play free to play. The only thing you'd really want to do is reroll hard at the beginning when you like make your account to make sure you get a good initial pull. But through the first, I would say, year, because we're a couple years behind Japan, because it came out in Japan first, and then it came out in China, and now like the global release is basically like the EN release. In terms of playing as a free-to-play player, there's only a couple of super necessary rare characters that are coming out this year. Like, so for the next year, you could potentially spend no money and just get a good initial roll, and then save your gacha currency for when those big banners hit that have the new and limited edition characters. and you could actually like be very successful in you could be quite successful like the whole story mode and everything, but you could do clan battles effectively, and you could be pretty effective in PvP as well, both the arenas and the princess arena. There's two
How
different
many hours
PvP.
of my life should I spend doing recaptchas until I reroll the right one?
In my opinion, as many as it takes to get Makoto, because Makoto is incredibly value for clan battles, which is like the whole clan goes up versus bosses. It's like a big PvE event. Um, Makoto is really, really, really valuable for clan battles, and the only way to earn her in game is from currency you earn from playing clan battles. So, like, you need the really good character to do the content where you could get the really good character. So, she's kind of the one that pretty much everybody rerolled for. And in terms of time commitment on rerolls, using BlueStacks, if you're interested, Zarek, I can show you how. You can get your reroll time down to about 10 minutes a roll.
I know BlueStacks.
But
I used to get around in Pokemon Go for a while.
but yeah, I rolled an alt account, and that took for fucking ever because I was being very picky about what I wanted. So I was like, unless it's like a god roll, I'm like walking away from it. So I re-rolled on that account a lot.
Possible to reroll a lot on actual mobile?
I mean, not really. I mean, you could, but do you have an iPhone or do you have an Android?
Nope, Android.
Oh, then you can play it on BlueStacks or on Android. Doesn't matter. There's a non-Google account linking option. Because that's what I'm doing. Like I'm playing it, like depending on if I'm at my computer or, away. I'm playing it either on my phone or on the computer on BlueStacks. So, and I can play on either or since it's Android. You can't do that with iPhone, but you can do that with Androids. With the problem is, without BlueStacks, there's like a multi-gig download for every reroll if you wanted to reroll. So it's not super conducive unless you had like two phones. If you had two Android phones, then in theory you could reroll. Or I guess just two phones. It wouldn't necessarily have to be two Android phones. Suffice it to say, though, it's really easy to do in BlueStacks. I can walk you through it. But there's 5 of us, I think. Oh yeah, and Precious is flexing in the chat. She didn't do any rerolls and got like a god drop. Ridiculous. She hit Makoto, which is like the one you want. She hit 2 really good additional things on her initial rolls, and then she threw 1 extra gacha and hit like the limited banner that's going on right now, which is not super important, but like that character won't be available in game for quite some time. So, and she like already has it. It's ridiculous. But the reason that it's really friendly from a free-to-play standpoint is you don't need duplicates of the characters to make more powerful versions. The way that you advance the characters can all be done in-game. Like, obviously, you could, pay to advance your strength and get there quicker, which is what the whales are doing. But there are in-game ways to earn the items you need to upgrade your characters, because they basically, what you're advancing is their star ranking. Right now, characters start at 1, 2, or 3 stars, and they can go all the way up to 5 stars. And the items needed for that are available in-game for every character, except for Jita, who is the limited focus banner. But again, unless you're going to be a pretty big spender, she is not going to be something that you can get up to 5-star without spending like serious money until she comes out in the actual game. But that update is over a year out from now, so like there's no well, I say over a year out, I don't know exactly how far out, but it's quite a ways out before that will be an option to do from in-game. But the fact that they can all be done in-game, I think, is like super awesome. So that was that bit of information was really what pushed me over the edge to like give it a try, and I'm enjoying it. The PvP is interesting. The story is honestly not bad. I mean, it's very anime-esque. Obviously, you might gather that from the picture.
Yeah.
There's a surprising amount of story if that's something that you're in it for. Individual character stories as well as like the overarching plot, plus like side stuff that happens. So, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm enjoying it. People, I'm playing. Diakis is playing. Precious is playing. I have my alt account. Buddy of me and Diakis, who's been around in Strats before. He's not, or he's been around for some of the other games we played. I don't know if he's actually in our Discord right now. But he's playing as well.
I haven't seen him in a minute.
Oh, Diakis? Oh, he's still around. No, the other buddy I was talking about. I can't remember what his Discord name is offhand. I've known him since high school, so like first name basis there. But it's yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. I like that pretty much everything is grindable in game. Precious said side stories, characters, personal stories, guild stories, and then the actual game stories. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff. Is it guild stories? Precious, is it guild stories? Because I haven't watched any of those yet. Are those related to the main story, or are they just additional like group focused side stories, or is it more like world building?
What is the gameplay?
Pseudo automated. It's a pseudo automated thing. So like, it's basically you take your party of 5 people and you go like, you run missions. Oh, hang on. She says like character personal stories, but with okay. So yeah, it's basically like side stories, but with multiple members as opposed to just the individuals. Basically, gameplay goes like such: you put your party of 5 people together, and you go fight 3 waves of enemies. That's the story mode. The different missions have different enemy compositions, and they're fixed. So, not especially further up in difficulty, not every team comp is valid for every mission that you're going to fight. Some of them are just like, you might get into a mission that's like got a whole lot of heavy hitting single target physical DPS characters, so you've got to have a physically tanky person up front in your party to absorb that damage, and you've got to have the healing support to actually keep them alive. Whereas other ones you'll get in that are like full of really tanky guys on the front line that don't hit super hard, and then people in the enemies behind that can attack beyond the first rank of your team, so they'll start attacking like your second or third rank characters. So you've got to be able to melt down those front characters fast enough to get to the rear attackers and put them out, or you've got to have AoE in your comp so that you can like hit multiple enemies at the same time and do chip damage to them, so that when you get to them they basically just evaporate. And then the process of making your characters more powerful, aside from gaining levels, which they obviously do, they have one ability, and this is where I say it's pseudo AFK or pseudo automated. They have one ability that is an active ability, so unbound ability, I believe is what they call it. The UB is what people refer to it as. So that's one that you as a player can activate whenever their TP bar is full, or their mana bar, for lack of a better descriptor. They also get 2 additional abilities that they will use on their own as they improve in gear rank. So they do a lot of the fighting on their own, and then you strategically time the active abilities where it makes the most sense in the fight. And then if you're running something that you're strong enough to just smash through, you can also turn those active abilities onto automated mode, where as soon as it's available, they'll just instantly use it, which is great for smashing lower level content when you're farming gear, but not so great when you're actually pushing content, because the difference between leaving auto enabled and not can be night and day, depending on your group composition and the enemies that you're fighting. Like there were, when I was pushing on my main account initially, there were a few missions that if I had left them on auto, I probably would have wiped on, but instead I got through and like got the maximum reward possible because I was using abilities at appropriate strategic times, as opposed to just being like, yeah, use your abilities whenever. And it's a mobile gacha game, so of course it's stamina based. There's a lot of stamina. Um, there's a lot of stamina to be had. They kind of trickle you stamina at first in terms of like increasing your max stamina, but
Yeah.
once you get up into like the 30s and 40s, you start having like a stamina cap that's like over 100, and then
I like my wife who uses a lot of stamina.
and there's multiple login bonuses during the day that reward additional stamina, just like a one-time injection of stamina. Completing the dungeons rewards you with furniture items for the guild house, which is like a mini like Animal Crossing type thing where you can put your characters and like decorate it how you want, because of course that's important. Your waifus have to be, comfortable. And
What up,
then
please?
what's up?
So what up, Strats Weeklies?
What's up, Stress Weeklies? The and then the dungeons also reward stamina furniture. You can also upgrade the furniture that you start with a currency that you can earn. There's a whole lot of different things to grind and farm for. And
You be in here talking about waifus.
we're talking about all kinds of stuff. We were talking about PoE earlier. You want to talk about PoE?
Ah, I
miss
mean, we
PoE.
could, but I came in just for the waifu chat.
Oh, okay. Well, you're here for the waifu chat. You made it just in time.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody wants to talk PoE, we could talk PoE, but I won't side rail the waifu chat any more than I have by jumping in and interrupting.
But basically, the the PvE is exactly that. You put your team together and you run these missions. The PvP is obviously like 5v5, or the higher PvP, which you have to play through pretty much the entire game to unlock, is your three squads versus their three squads, and it's best of three. So you've got to win 2 of the 3 fights.
I love that I ask. I'm like, oh, so what's the gameplay like? Oh, talks for like 20 minutes, and then
for like
he's like,
7 minutes.
to summarize, basically the PVE is like you run some dungeons. I just summarized the last 20 minutes in like one sentence.
It's like 7 minutes. You asked.
Whoa.
Now you know.
You're not wrong. I did ask.
Ask questions to which you don't want answers.
True.
But yeah, so we're right now. Clan battles don't start until sometime in February. Will be the first clan battle event. So right now we're just pushing story progression and gearing up characters, and we'll see how the first clan battle event goes.
Nope.
I love those clan battles.
Yeah, it's boss fights. Yeah.
I've got it all installed and ready to go, but I got to do the reroll strat, right?
Oh,
Gotta get the right waifus.
You gotta get the right waifus. You really have. I mean, especially if you're not gonna
Anyone
inject.
who has been aware of this game.
Who's not? Are you the only one that's not aware? Maybe. I don't know.
Everyone's like coming in. They're like, oh, so this is the game with like the rerolls and the waifu strats.
Well, see, what you missed out on was just a night in another Discord where we were just like, me and Alundrel were playing PoE, and Oz came in and we were just like talking waifus for like 3 or 4 hours, just sitting there while he tried to re-roll for the right waifus.
Nice.
That's true. The alt grind was real.
That sounds like the perfect game for Oth, because I feel like Oth more enjoys trying to optimize everything than actually like following through with those optimizations and playing the game.
I do definitely have a tendency to overfocus optimization over actually like doing anything.
Yeah. Whenever I go to play a game, it's like if Oth is playing, it's like I'm going to Oth because I know he's done the science on this.
I've done some things on it.
He's done all the calculations, and he will know the optimal build.
Or I've looked up all the calculations. I don't always do them myself. I'm not that math smart.
Speaking of some good optimization, without getting into the details, man, did I like realize a really good optimization for my PoE character, and holy fuck, is it stronger for making a swap.
Is it as significant as your like finally sat down, did your POB, and got like quadruple damage?
No, because that was like
Yeah.
so gargantuan. Like, how do you
Yeah, how do you
how
even
do you
compare?
like multiply your damage by 4 again? But no, I basically just like swapped out a cluster jewel for a different cluster jewel, the same cost, and it's huge.
So the so now that you've like had some time with it and like the meta is starting to like settle in there, so did they really just like take the nerf bat to a whole bunch of stuff, or did like things kind of shake out in the wash?
Um, I feel like a lot of things that got nerfed, yeah, they just got nerfed. They didn't really get anything back.
Mm.
However, one of the big nerf bats that got swung was Assassin, but it's still just strong. Like, it's fine. I think it's still the highest played class. I'm not I'm not certain though. Um, but like yeah, I don't know what anybody's doing with Deadeye. I haven't looked into it, and if it's like actually good. I know there's some like serious meme builds with the Deadeye now.
Mm.
But I will say that just because of the state of what they did with like the newest expansion being or like the newest thing being both like a game expansion and a new league. So like Maven's not going anywhere. Maven is straight up core. There was never like, oh, we'll put Maven out and see if it's like see how it goes. It's like no, that's the new core mechanic.
Mm.
It's like if you don't make something that can kill bosses, you're going to be sad.
Mm.
Because the game went from like if you love mapping or you love, whatever sort of grind you love, like, yeah, maybe you run into a boss from time to time and you, like, if you're just willing to make tons of money doing something else and hire a bosser, then, like, yeah, you hire a bosser occasionally to, like, kill your Cyrus for you or, like, kill your Shaper for you or, like, whatever you got to do. But now with how just super intense the boss fights are, because they're just, like, super ramped up and juiced up beyond belief, and the fact that there's so many, it's like if you're not playing something that can you're planning on playing a character that can handle bosses, like you're in for a bad time.
Mm.
And you're going to be paying through the nose to hire boss killers for you all the time to come and kill your bosses.
Yeah, so rip my old SRS builds.
Yeah,
Never
I already have
never
a
good at it.
I already have a deal with a guy until further notice to just like come and kill like boss, XYZ for set rate ABC until I, do up a boss of my own, boss killer of my own. And like I don't generally enjoy boss killing characters. So it's kind of like I feel like I've got my hand forced. That's like, yep, go make one, bitch.
Yeah, that's
You like it now?
that's unfortunate because that was one nice thing about PoE previously is I mean, like, sure, if you were trying for like Atlas completion, you'd have to get somebody to carry you through a few things, and maybe you have to get a carry for your uh, all your ascendancies. But like,
Yeah.
you could just do a big just AOE off screening monstrosity and like be totally fine. Like have actual progression, like find loot and such, find currency, be able to improve yourself through trade and such. Like it was totally viable
I
previously.
mean, I still can. Like I could still just play this purely mapper and do tons and tons of mapping. I'll just have to hire bossers a lot more. It's like I think the issue is like you can still do maps with a bosser or like do your mapping with characters that are better at bossing. It'll be slow. You won't just like smash maps like a mapper does, but you'll be able to do them. The thing is like a mapper can't kill bosses.
Yeah.
That's what feels so bad.
Yeah, it's too bad.
I mean, that being said, with my current optimizations and where I'm at and stuff, and not even like too crazy invested, um, I'm just like slapping everything other than bosses. So, and even then, my character is strong enough that I could do like a good amount of my own bossing. So I'm not totally paying through the teeth, but I am finding out quickly who I can and can't even like take a shot at. But yeah, I think the shitty thing too is that like a lot of the current bosses are like very like bullet helly.
Mm.
So the other thing too is like all the best bosses are just like uninteractive minion build kind of stuff where you just put your minions out there and like run around, or super tanks where you just face tank it all, and everything else is just like suffer.
Hmm.
Did you try out your miner to see how it goes?
No, I didn't pull it up. The problem is like I've got stuff on standard that I could go and be like, how does this do? But I'd have to grind to that point in standard. Like I'd have to because the way the Maven fight works is once you get a zone up to a certain tier, then she starts showing up and wants to witness the boss fights in each map that you do. And first time she'll want to see 3 different map bosses, and then you fight those in an arena together. And then she wants to see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'd need to like do, 3, 7, 12, 18, 25. Where am I at? Like 30 some maps, 40 maps, just to get one zone to 10, like, Maven level 10 of her having witnessed all the bosses. And then that's when she starts giving you like the really big content that I need somebody else to do for me.
Yeah.
So like I don't want to go waste all the time in standard to like get there.
Yeah, that's a pretty sizable grind for a hey, does this work? Sort of
Yeah.
pondering.
Yeah, I will say like the new stuff that they've added that's like that like makes the all like the Atlas ascendancy stuff. So basically like a skill tree for your Atlas is ultra sweet. And like that's what you unlock by doing all this like fighting the Maven stuff.
Nice.
So that's why it's a shame, because you can't just be like, oh well, I'll just focus on mapping. Like you have to go get somebody to do it for you. Like no way around it. But yeah, the new like map ascendancy stuff is sick. Just like the kind of way you can, it's really cool that they've made it where you can kind of really focus on something that you want to do. So for example, like one of the things I'm waiting to do, where is it? I forget which zone it's in. So I'm saving all of my Einhar missions because it's not here. Because I can't find the damn zone that he's in.
It's turns in. Red beasts in the area have a 50%
Oh yeah.
chance to be paired. Yellow beasts have a 30% chance to be replaced by red beasts.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm saving all my Einhar shenanigans to go and do that, and just like, so yeah, I'm not doing any of my Einhar missions because I'll wait until I've got that stuff in Turn's End and go do that there. And then I have a different zone is like all about Legion stuff, and that's super juicy.
Mm-hmm.
Actually 2 of them are.
And they're one for Delve as well.
Yep, there's really good delve stuff. There's some that are also just like really, really good one-offs. So these all look just like the ascendancy trees that you can, in fact, I can just do this. Maybe 60. They all look like the ascendancy trees. And I don't think I can go any tighter. I can't. So there's some nodes that are just like one-offs where basically whenever you fight the Maven and you do like the thing where you fought 3 bosses at once,
Mm-hmm.
she'll give you an ascendancy point for that zone. So like in here, she's seen me fight 2 bosses of the 6 for this set. And that makes sense because I've already got 5. So yeah, this is like a really good one-off that whenever I do a syndicate member, they gain or execute a syndicate member, they gain 2 ranks. Like that's pretty sweet. Some of the other big ones are like chains of 3 that are really nice. So it's really nice when you can find a zone where, because I think you end up getting 4 points just like an ascendancy. So if you find something that's like 3 deep and some sort of one-off, that can be really nice. Or like this one's going to be 2 branches of 2. Oh no, this is another cool one that's a really good one-off. This seance node is that 20 rare monsters are possessed.
Oh,
And there's a so like when you have to do the stupid thing where you're just trying to get a ghost to go fly into somebody.
yeah, like don't have to do it. They're already done.
Yeah, they're just in there. And so as you're just doing your other stuff and you're using what are they called? Sextants on and like juicing up your maps. There's a sextant that whenever you kill a possessed monster, you automatically get a scarab up to 3.
Oh wow.
So it used to be a pain because you used to have to like try and get ghosts in the map and go, chase ghosts around and get them inside somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But that's no longer a thing. Now you just do that thing, and then first 3 people you see drop a scarab. Done.
Easy.
And there's a lot of ones like that. There's like really nice one-offs or like the bigger, deeper ones that are 3 deep. So the thing I'm currently focusing on is there's 2 zones that have 3 deep tracks related to seeing the harvest, which is like the deterministic crafting system.
Right.
So I'm just trying to do as much harvest crafting as I can get my hands on. And the nice thing there is you can there's like a Discord server to go and sell all your crafts. So anything that you when you go in there, you'll see about between like 60 to 100 crafts, and you're allowed to store up to 10. And that's like store up to 10 period, not per harvest that you see.
Mm.
So if your harvest crafting storage is full already, like you just have to do as much as you can while you're in there, like before the map closes. So when you go in there and you've got like 60 to 100 crafts, let's say that just 50 of them are like crap, at least half are just going to be like not good. So you just go in there and you do a bunch of just spam crafting of whatever you can and just craft on stuff, whatever. And then pick either like 10 that you want to save or the 10 that you think will sell for the juiciest and take them home. But yeah, you can sell those really well since it's quite rare. Some of the crafts sell for like a few exalts a piece, depending on the craft.
So nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to sell them off.
Yeah, it seems like between the Maven system and then also the new maps, which are probably just boss fight test beds for PoE 2.0. PoE 2 pretty seems pretty hype. Wonder if it will come out this year or not.
I don't know. Since they don't have like a firm announced date,
Yeah.
who knows when it'll be? But
well, and like who knows how much last year and however much longer this year operations are have been interrupted
stunted
as a
in
result.
some way.
You also have to be careful when you're running. I feel like a free-to-play game, because as soon as you announce the next game, that's when all your income stops.
Well, it's
Right?
well, 2 is not going to be like a true like you're still gonna be able to play like PoE, regular PoE. Like the end game will still be the same. I think it's just like a different way to progress to the end game, basically.
Well, I mean,
Oh, so
so
it's not like a sequel.
well, they're also just like building it out of PoE 1. So it's pretty interesting that like PoE 1 will still be a part of PoE 2. It's just going to be like they're basically when they release PoE 2, they'll kind of like revamp PoE 1 as a part of it, and it will still exist, in PoE 2 if I kind of understand it correctly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a bit of a wonky thing that they're going for, but if they do it right, if it works out well, then it should do nothing but like boost the game overall. Shouldn't impact anything negatively. That's the hope, anyhow. Oh, but I just realized it's 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern. That's it for Strats Weekly this week. If you're interested in playing games with us, we're on the Discord. Thanks everybody who came out. Thanks everybody who's out in YouTube watching. Everybody who checks the VOD out as well. We will catch you guys next week. Have a good one.
GG's.